Hello and welcome to Tuesday Newsday, your number one resource for the entire week's worth of VR news. Germany and the United States launching lawsuits against Facebook and Oculus. This may spell some trouble for the entire industry. Bankruptcies, VR headsets sold out again, and price slashes that you should probably ignore. This is a very important week in VR news, and you're not going to want to miss this one because what's happening right now could have lasting effects for years going forward. But first, I wanted to chill out on a project I have had on my second channel. I made a music video. Yeah, it's called VRChat Guy. I worked really freaking hard on it, and it's kind of a special project I did to celebrate almost 250,000 subscribers. So go and check it out. I think it turned out really cool, and it's a project I've been wanting to do for a long time. But we've got a ton to cover today on this channel, so let's just get right into the news. Last week, Medal of Honor Above and Beyond launched for PC VR on both Steam and the Oculus Store. I did play it quite a bit, and it's alright. I think I had much bigger expectations for the game considering it's an EA-backed game from one of my favorite studios, Respawn. The guys that made Titanfall and Apex Legends, two games that I really enjoy. I played it on stream and I had a lot of gripes with it, from a lack of interactivity with certain objects, the slow introduction to the story, and a lack of features that we should expect in modern VR games, like Smooth Turn for example. Needless to say, I was decently disappointed, and the Steam reviews reflect that as well. For being a $60 title, it just doesn't feel right. Plus, it's massive, 180 gigabytes. It's sitting with mixed reviews on Steam at the moment, and that sounds about right. Respawn did respond quickly though. An update coming to Medal of Honor is adding Smooth Turn, removing the victory scenes from each segment of the missions, one of my gripes as well, and they're making the M1 Garand louder, as well as a slew of other smaller fixes. I definitely don't think that the game is a lost cause. It's fun, just maybe I expected a Half-Life Alyx or Boneworks quality of game, and I expected too much. If Respawn keeps updating the game, I can definitely see Medal of Honor getting to be really good, but as of now, I was pretty disappointed. The Oculus Quest 2 is out of stock almost everywhere at the moment for the rest of 2020. This is both good and bad, of course. I'm sure a ton of orders are coming through for Christmas and the holidays, and I'm sure we're going to see a massive spike in users at the beginning of the year. This is basically what happened last year with the original Quest, but Oculus did say they may have more stock available and to keep on the lookout at various retailers. Hopefully, Oculus handles the situation better than last year though, because if you remember right, the Quest was practically sold out for months after Christmas. Interestingly, Oculus has also slashed the price of their PC VR headset, the Rift S, to the same price as the Quest 2, just $300. That's a 25% price cut. I do warn you though, if I were you, I would not be buying the Rift S. I will be posting a VR headset buyer's guide later this week if you want a detailed explanation as to why, but basically, the Quest 2 is just a better buy in almost every way, from functionality to resolution at that price point, if you can get your hands on one, that is. And speaking of Oculus, there are some issues at the moment. Facebook and Oculus have been seriously under fire lately regarding concerns over anti-competitive practices by the company. And what happened this past week may have serious ramifications for Oculus and Facebook Reality Labs in the coming years. After a recent investigation, the Federal Trade Commission and 48 states formally sued Facebook over monopolization claims and anti-competitive behaviors. Then, shortly after, Germany formally sued Oculus themselves over similar anti-competitive claims regarding tying Facebook accounts to Oculus headsets. So, this is a lot to unpack, and it could mean a lot. So, let me just get one thing clear right away. The gigantic United States FTC lawsuit doesn't necessarily mention Oculus or VR in particular. I want to be clear on that. The lawsuit does, however, specifically mention the acquisition of Instagram and WhatsApp WhatsApp and calls for those two companies to be spun off of Facebook and for Facebook to essentially be broken up. This is due to some extremely shady practices by the company, including revoking access to Facebook APIs for Vine and just outright purchasing competition rather than actually competing, which the FTC does deem illegal in certain cases. It stifles innovation and it leads to monopolization. Like I said, Facebook Reality Labs isn't outright mentioned in the filings, but Facebook did acquire Oculus during these times, and in case you don't know, these shady anti-competitive practices that Facebook has been doing behind the scenes, the reason why the FTC is legit suing the company to be broken up is exactly what Oculus has been doing pretty much since they were acquired. There are so many examples of Oculus either outright shutting down applications, buying out developers, or stealing exact ideas from existing applications. This Bloomberg article says it perfectly. Quote, Facebook accused of squeezing rival startups in virtual reality, end quote. 6. The developer of applications you may know like Live and You're, a fitness tracker app, which might sound familiar because, well, a Facebook-owned fitness tracker app has come to the Quest, says that his apps were intentionally broken and forced off of the store because they posed direct competition to Facebook's offerings. He had this to say, "Our industry is getting eaten alive by Facebook. Any application that has a chance of being mildly competitive with them, they have to kill it somehow," end quote. This isn't just with 6. Guy Godin, developer of Virtual Desktop, has been strong-armed by Facebook due to his PC VR streaming functionality in his app. And another app, Big Screen, has had issues as well, Facebook requiring astronomical fees resulting in, quote, "It's literally impossible for anyone to start an e-commerce or media business in VR because these walled gardens are gatekeepers. Entire industries are impossible because of them," end quote. So while Facebook Reality Labs may not be in these filings directly, the same anti-competitive practices that Facebook is being accused of has been running rampant through Oculus for years now. And the evidence is all right there, including the specific cases of conditional Facebook API usage within VR applications stifling competition. The best case scenario for Oculus and the VR industry at this point would be for Facebook to ironically get a reality check by various governments and to be far more careful with anti-competitive practices, leading to a better, more competitive VR industry, which is better for us, the consumers, better applications that aren't squeezed out of existence, and perhaps a more open platform for developers and users. Worst case scenario is Oculus and Facebook Reality Labs become a major point of contention in these filings and are broken up. But like I said, Oculus is not mentioned here. But this could overall be a good thing for us as VR lovers. And there's no way that the forced Facebook account policies won't be mentioned, because that's exactly what Germany is doing right now. Germany recently filed a lawsuit against Facebook for anti-competitive practices regarding the requirement of a Facebook account to use an Oculus device. Quote, "With its social network, Facebook holds a dominant position in Germany and is already an important player in the emerging but growing VR market. We intend to examine whether and to what extent this tying arrangement will affect competition in both areas of activity," end quote. So the United States and Germany are hammering Facebook right now for the exact same things practically. And this undoubtedly will have lasting impacts on the entire VR industry moving forward. I have been vocal about both my love for the Oculus Quest 2 and my discomfort with how Facebook has been handling VR. If this is what it takes to set the industry straight and to help the VR community thrive, then so be it. Whether Oculus is mentioned or not, this undoubtedly will have lasting effects for VR and Oculus moving forward, regardless if Facebook is actually broken up or not. They are under scrutiny, and it's for good reason. I just hope for a more open, consumer-friendly, and developer-friendly platform in the future. But now it's time for a meme break!
Facebook could be forced to break up following historic lawsuits launched against the tech giant in the United States.
That's pretty good.
And now, back to the news. Recently, a rumor has spurred up about Valve's next game, and it's pretty interesting. If it's true, it could be one of the better things that's happened to VR, to be honest. The next game, codenamed Citadel, supposedly has both flat-screen PC and VR functionality in an asymmetric function. This could be where either a VR or PC player places enemies on a map and the other player fights them up close. This leak comes from Tyler over at Valve News Network, who had uncovered a project named Citadel that seems to be a top-secret new new Valve game. Apparently, this project has been worked on since 2018, although not much is known about it. VNN did say that there's nothing tying the project specifically to the Half-Life universe, and he reasons that it would be a better fit for the Team Fortress IP. I mean, I can only imagine an asymmetric PC/VR Team Fortress game, and it sounds like a blast. But like I said, nothing here is confirmed, just rumors, leaks, and speculation. A few weeks ago, I mentioned the Void VR Arcade and their issues, but another arcade, Sandbox VR, similarly has been experiencing extreme financial problems due to COVID, filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy back in August. Well, the company has recently re-emerged from Chapter 11 after a restructuring. Back at the beginning of the year, Sandbox was about to acquire $50 million in funding to open another 20 locations before investors pulled out during the onset of the pandemic. Sandbox's CEO said that they lost 100% of their revenue and had to lay off 80% of their workforce and are effectively going into a state of dormancy until the situation lightens up and people can return to normal life and actually go to these arcades. I'm glad to see that Sandbox VR is rebounding, and I hope the best for them. But now it's time for Question of the Week. From Beat Saber Clips, what is my all-time favorite VR game? If you're talking about social VR, then definitely VRChat. It's a place to socialize, have fun, meet new people, and create cool things. If you're talking about a straight-up game, then definitely Boneworks. The physics interactions, universe, gunplay, and overall gameplay is just incredibly fun. I've finished the game way too many times, and I've even done speedruns. All in all, I just love the game. It doesn't hold your hand and force you to do teleportation, and you can essentially be as crazy or tame in it as you want. And that's Question of the Week. Don't forget to leave your own below. I may just answer yours next. And check out that music video on the second channel. It's not the best, not gonna lie, but I worked really hard on it, and if you're a VRChat person, it's probably gonna be decently relatable. Also, to celebrate almost 250,000 subscribers, I'm doing a massive Christmas giveaway on my Twitch stream today. Free shipping on GamerSupps orders like 70 VR game keys, shirts, shakers, Discord Nitro, tons of stuff, so come on over to my Twitch channel for that to celebrate with me, and we'll get into the holiday spirit. Updated scheduling on that stream will be in my Discord server. But I want to thank all of my Patreon supporters, especially my Omegas like Zeal, Furtrap, Lucas Risotto, CPCJ79, Chaotic, Dented Melon, KR, That Brock Guy, HCG Randon, Benji, Ronzarelli, Biz, Fusion Oak, Very Evil Shadow, and Debonair Fab. I couldn't do any of this without you. Don't forget to like this video if you loved it, subscribe if you want more of this, and hit that freaking bell if you just can't live without it. Much love, Thrill out.